theater critic, review professional theater across Connecticut, Broadway, and national tours. Today I will be discussing the Lehman Trilogy by Stefano Massini, adapted by Ben Powell and directed by Sam Mendes, running through January 2nd at the Nederlander Theater at 208 West 41st Street in New York City. If you don't know the Lehman Brothers, they were three Jewish immigrants from Germany who came to the U.S. in the early 19th century to find their fortunes. And what transpires in the Lehman Trilogy is a nearly two-century journey as the three brothers, Henry, played by Simon Russell Beale, Mayer, played by Adam Godley, and Emanuel, played by Adrian Lester, find their fortune in the cotton trade, taking cotton from the slave states in the South to the North, who had no qualms about buying it. The play travels over generations of Lehmans, spending considerable time with Emanuel's son Philip, played also by Simon Russell Beale, and Philip's son Robert, also played by Adam Godley, leading up to the point of when the last Lehman is no longer involved in the company and to its eventual meltdown in 2008, something of which I would have loved to have seen more detail of in this production. For a play that's over 3 hours long, it moves at a breakneck pace. It isn't hard to imagine that it was originally 5 hours, and frankly, I wouldn't have minded it being that long, because Massini's story, Mendes' direction, and the trio of actors have assembled such a beautifully thought-out story that even with the changing roles, the financial jargon, and the stark black and white set, it is profoundly engrossing. And what more, the first act, which is dedicated to the three original brothers and their original goals to success, become appealing. They're not portrayed as just greedy men wringing their hands, awaiting more wealth. These are men of tradition, of family, and of persistence, somewhat admirable traits overall. Their successes and the successes of their heirs come at a cost. From perpetuating slavery for profit to disrupting the consumer market by convincing people to buy goods they don't need, the greed grows. Civil War doesn't stop them. The Black Thursday stock market crash of 1929 doesn't stop them. 2 world wars don't stop them. The innate ability to capitalize on every situation they face turns from admirable to horrific. It makes the fall of the company in 2008 feel all the more tragic and makes one wonder what the original three brothers would have thought of the legacy that was wrought. The Lehman Trilogy rests firmly on the shoulders of its three leads. Simon Russell Beale, Adam Godley, and Adrian Lester are all fabulous no matter what role they play. The amount of acting dexterity is impressive, especially Simon Russell Beale, who gives the patriarch Henry a sense of propriety and decorum, later turning around and giving Philip an almost creepy quality. Then there's Adam Godley's Robert, which is oddly Warholian, even though Robert's long preceded Andy Warhol. Now, these obviously aren't true-to-life representations of the real people they're playing. They are exaggerated to get across Massini's obvious argument against rampant capitalism, but it's effective. Details are exaggerated for dramatic effect, like Robert's long lifespan. He only lived to be 77, not to over 100 as the play suggests, but that's creating a sense of environment for the people who've had to work with him, not necessarily because it was factual. Decades are jumped over to get to the more dramatic moments in the family's legacy. So, yeah, another reason why not to take this as a ultimate biography of the Lehman family and the corporation. Credit must be given to S. Devlin'S scenic design and Luke Hall's video design. They are both incredible. The rotating stage where the action takes place in multiple spaces with windows looking in on the secret wheelings and dealings is beautifully backdropped by a semicircular video screen that gives meticulously yet not overdone images of the landscape that would define the time period from the plantation fields of Alabama to the New York City skyline. The Lehman Trilogy is excellently done. Is it necessarily the most accurately told financial history? Probably not. But that doesn't stop Mendes from excellently executing a topic-heavy piece that in lesser hands would have collapsed under its own weight. So that is one man's opinion on the Lehman Trilogy, now playing at the Nederlander Theater on Broadway. Leave your opinion in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep up to date to more theater. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at One Man's Opinion. My next review will be Hartford Stage's season premiere, Eugene O'Neill's Ah Wilderness. So, until then, take care, and I will see you at the theater.